Hey.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen, once again on a Thursday. The Lonely Marks talking some wrestling. Richie should be joining us momentarily. But in the meantime, I am joined by two of my fellow Lonely Marks. First, JPO. How's it going?
What's up, everybody? Not doing just dandy here to talk some wrestles here on a relatively kind of chill show compared to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be nice. We'll see if we go for 2 hours just talking or not. We'll see. Probably not. Not tonight.
No.
Somebody who's used to being on 2 hour streams though. Austin, how's it going?
Well, you know me, JPO knows, but when I'm hosting, we don't go that long. We like quick shows when I'm hosting. No, it's all good. No, it should just be a casual, chill show tonight. Yeah, we shouldn't go too long tonight because we're just gonna get caught up on some stuff. I feel like we haven't like caught up on especially like AEW stuff or like NXT or like just even just storylines in general. We haven't really like talked a lot about. We've had a lot of different topics to do. So yeah, just be kind of a chill, casual, whatever comes across our board here tonight. We'll talk about.
Yeah. And, breaking news from Richie himself. He's on his way home. He will be home soon, he says.
Well, we eagerly anticipate he was at Grand Slam, so we'll talk about Grand Slam when he gets here. So we'll hold off on that until he shows up.
Mm-hmm. So I was gonna say he might want to miss the fantasy update, but it was me who had the down week this week.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and hit us with it, man. What you got?
Yeah, so another we're week 7. Going strong. As always, our day starts with our week started another day. Our week starts with Friday night SmackDown. Naomi defeating Chelsea Green in the opening match. So Richie will get 5 points for Chelsea Green or whatever she says. I'm never gonna do that again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm never saying that again. I got on my only points for the week. I got on the board with the Motor City Machine Guns defeating Los Garza. Richie back on the board with LA Knight defeating The Miz. Carmelo Hayes not on the roster defeating R-Truth, also not on the roster. Relatively short match too. Tiffany Stratton keeping her title over Nia Jax, so Richie getting points once again for a title defense. I hate that it was by DQ though, and I hate that I scored it that way, and now I have to be consistent. But it is what it is. And then finally in the main event, which I'm sure we'll talk about as well, because meat, and some of us here like meat. Damian Priest defeating Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. JPO had 2 wrestlers score this week. Both were main event winners. We'll get to the other one in just a moment, but he got the big main event points for Damian Priest. Pez getting the main event participating points for Jacob Fatu, and I believe Jacob Fatu is also in the main event tomorrow. I think that was announced.
He's been in a lot of main events, but he hasn't been winning a lot of them lately. But he's not the guy that gets pinned. He's just
right
there. They have all these like multi-mans, and yeah, him being in another like 6-man tag means he probably won't win, but Tama Tonga will once again like take the pinfall. You know what I mean? And he'll be on the losing side again. We'll see. Or he could beat I guess Strowman or Priest, somebody in that match, probably not Cody, but
right.
Something like that. No, we'll see.
Yeah, I will say outside of week 3, Jacob Fatu has scored for you every single week.
Yeah, he was a good pickup. I'm glad I got him because he's been consistently showcased on SmackDown, and he gets in the ring a lot, as opposed to all my other guys who wrestle when they feel like it. And I have to rely on them at the pay-per-views, and even this upcoming pay-per-view, I've only got 2 people on my roster actually on the pay-per-view, which kind of sucks. So I'm not going to have a great pay-per-view unless one of them, wins the main event. I guess that'll give me a few points, but yeah.
Yeah, I like my roster for the Rumble, but outside of it, it's like.
Well, and one guy I hope is actually going to debut soon because I think his last NXT match may have been this past Vengeance Day or whatever, and the strong rumor is that he's now getting the official call up, and obviously I'm talking about Trick Williams, but
Yeah.
that he may actually be getting the official bump very, very soon. So hopefully that if he gets added to SmackDown or wherever, maybe he'll start showing up and give me some points too, getting some wins.
Yeah. So funny enough, only 2 of the 5 matches on Raw included people that are currently rostered. Because AJ Styles defeats Dominic Mysterio, not on rosters currently. Dakota Kai defeats Ivy Nile to become the number 1 contender for the Women's Intercontinental title. So I will finally get more points for Lyra Valkyria. I hope she keeps it, and they don't pivot to Dakota. I wouldn't be upset if they did, just because I like Dakota as a wrestler as well. But for fantasy's sake, keep it on Lyra. Penta defeats Pete Dunne, so Pez getting points once again. For Penta, I think for the next few months.
He's been my Raw guy that's been fairly consistent. Like he's had 1 or 2 weeks where he hasn't wrestled, but he's been fairly consistently showcased at least. So that's not too bad.
Yeah. The Elimination Chamber qualifying match, I was very surprised they went this route. Roxanne Perez defeating Raquel. I'm sure we'll talk about that more when we get to the news portion of the show, the current events portion. And then finally in the main event, Seth Rollins defeats Finn Balor. So yeah, JPO. Like I said, only 2 guys scored, but both guys won the main event. So he ended the week with 60 points. He was the high score for the week. And then, Richie getting the main event participating points for Finn Balor. He had four wrestlers score for a total of 40 points this week. Pez, you had those 2, Penta and Jacob Fatu for 20. And then I only had the Machine Guns, which got me 10. It would make sense that the 1 week after I pick up Rey Mysterio, he doesn't actually have a match on Raw, but
and he's had matches the last 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not on there. I know it's what stinks. And then like I said, my people like to show up on TV and just cut promos, but not get in the ring. Like CM Punk's always cutting promos. Seeing the shows up every now and then cuts a promo. Roman unfortunately is. I don't know. He's not even on this damn pay-per-view. I gotta wait till WrestleMania probably for Roman. So I don't know. Yeah.
From everything that I read and heard, people were like, well, they didn't want him to get pinned inside the chamber. And it's like, well, there's a way to pin somebody, but still make them look strong. Like, if he takes every single person's finisher that's in the match and gets pinned, that's fine. It took 3 or 4 people to eliminate him. That's
somebody not necessarily that you can cheat in a chamber, but we've seen stuff where, remember last year's chamber, Logan Paul interfered and beat up AJ in the chamber, or was it vice versa, or AJ showed up, whatever it was. Somebody that wasn't even in the chamber popped in and hit somebody. There's a way you could
the year before. I think he leading into his match with Logan's match with Seth. I think. I mean, he might have done it the year before too with AJ.
Yeah, he did something like that, but it was somebody that wasn't even in the match came in. You know what I mean? So there's ways you could do things and still keep people safe, and you're fine.
Yeah, like Shawn Michaels coming out from under the ring and hitting a sweet chin music on Undertaker to make him lose the championship. There's ways to put Roman. As much as I'm gonna love seeing Logan in the match, he kind of feels out of place. You put Rowan in there, that's a star-studded elimination chamber. But yeah, those are the scores for the week. Overall, I am still in the lead, 473, but the lead again, after being the low score for the week, it has narrowed slightly. Richie at 439, JPO at 425, and Pez at 343. But yeah, we're coming up into Elimination Chamber or Hidden Mania season. I believe Cena's scheduled for a few Raws. They're going to be overseas. So I don't know if any of those are going to be matches leading up to Mania.
I would imagine he might wrestle in Europe, since it's your last chance to see John Cena. He might have some
that's my thinking
matches, not you know, it might just be like against a mid card person or something, but like you could see him wrestling, you know, just at least getting in the ring for those people in Europe, and that would be pretty good. You know, your last chance to see Cena or whatever. You know, even if he just wrestles like, I don't know, Kaiser, you know, or people like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he can wrestle like random dudes and it'd be fine. You know, on Raw.
So I do want to ask before we get into the you know, do you want to drop anybody? JPO, is there any pick on your roster that you're like, I don't know why, I don't know if I should have picked them. Is there any pick that you're regretting and you're like, we'll wait and see, or are you happy with your roster?
I mean, yeah, there's something that could probably be doing better, but you know, I'm trying to stay faithful. I'm a faithful man.
Pez, same question.
Yeah, the only one I'm tinkering with is Roman Reigns, but only because he just doesn't like get in the ring a lot, you know. But at the same time, I could hang on to him at least through Mania because I'm sure he'll have a big Mania match. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And he might even get in the ring, you know, a few weeks before Mania. That's always a possibility, you know, in like a multi-man thing or something leading up to it. You know, after Mania, we'll have to see if he takes another break. You know, who knows? There's always a chance that he like wrestles Mania and takes a break for a while. If that's the case, I mean, there's options. I mean, like AJ's on the table. Like somebody could pick up AJ now that he's back and he gets in the ring fairly consistently. You know, I mean, there's other people that are in the ring, you know, fairly a lot. Even people like Jimmy Uso who get in the ring a lot. You know, like, you know, even if they don't always win, like they're always in the ring. Braun Strowman, like there are guys like that who are still out there. But you know, at this point, you know, I figure my entire roster will at least be on the Mania roster. So like I'm kind of hoping for that. Jade Cargill, they played some more video stuff, so I think they're building up to her being back. You know, she'll probably be back for Mania, so that's what I'm hoping for as well. I would imagine the New Day will have something to do at Mania, you know, they'll like that. So I mean, you know, Charlotte Flair, obviously. So I'm hoping that most of my roster will at least be in the hunt for Mania, will be on Mania, and then we'll kind of see after that. So yeah, I don't want to waste another pick right before Mania. We'll see how it pans out, and then if people seem like they're going away for a while, you know, maybe swap somebody out. We'll see. But
yeah, that
hold for now, I guess.
Yeah, that was my thinking last week with, or the week before, with dropping Randy Orton and picking up Rey Mysterio. It's like Rey Mysterio, he might not get those main events. He might not, you know, be in the title picture or whatever, but he's been wrestling consistently. And now I hope I'm not made a liar because he wasn't on this week's Raw, but I'm holding out hope that, you know, he'll still be a consistent player on Raw. But yeah, somebody like an AJ Styles or even like a Carmelo Hayes who seems to wrestle at least every other week or something, just to get you those points. It doesn't always have to be these big main event, you know, in the title picture guys. Like, hey, those victory points are victory points. So we'll see.
Richie's still like peeved that Fraxium hasn't moved up yet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, and like just waiting for that to happen, even though it seems like they're just still kind of the main tag team, you know, in NXT right now. But again, see what happens after Mania. You never know. They could be a team that like debuts on the Raw after Mania or something, you know, or the SmackDown after Mania. You know, there's always big shows like that where they sometimes call people up, you know, and have people do something. So you never know. Like they could. And I'd imagine does NXT have another like they could have another like big show leading up to Mania, right? Or they always have a stand and deliver Mania weekend, right? Something like that.
Something like that. I don't know if I don't know what's next. They just had Vengeance Day.
I think they usually have a stand and deliver, JPO. Am I right? Like the Mania weekend, don't they always have a big show Mania weekend, like the Friday night or something like that?
Yeah. Stand and deliver, Mania for NXT. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So there's always like a big thing like that. And they
April 19th.
They could drop the titles and then like debut right afterwards or something, you know, put somebody over. Like it's very possible. You know, same with Trick. If he doesn't debut like very, very soon, he could do one last thing at Stand and Deliver and then show up on, you know, Raw or SmackDown after Mania and like get the official call up, which I think will happen. So that's why I'm kind of hanging on to him.
Yeah. So a few NXT guys who might be worth picking up. We'll see how long Ricky Saints stays in AEW. I thought that was an odd. Not that I get why they changed the name. They don't like having similar last names, you know. And Zoe Stark, Ricky Starks. Like I get it. Just Saints.
Oh.
Ricky Saints. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Yeah. AEW doesn't care how many cages and pages and Coles and whatever.
Yeah, they never. Yeah, it's true. They've always been the very opposite. Yeah, because you heard, this dates back a long time, and even Matt Sydal, they're like, we have a Matt Hardy. Fuck you. What do you want to be now? Like, so. But yeah, AEW's like, we got Adams, we got all sorts of things. So, never thought about the Zoe Stark one because I was surprised they changed it because sometimes they don't anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's weird. I don't know. I'm a firm believer in like give it some time. I mean, is anyone still mad at Gunther? You know what I mean? Like, are we?
Well, I think we were at first, and everybody's kind of gotten used to it. Like after a while,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Ricky Saints doesn't sound right just because we've been saying Starks now for 3 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's I think the only reason it doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? It's not. There's not. There could be way worse. You know what I mean? So he's not no way Jose or I don't know. So I'm trying to think of just a really bad name. Like.
Well, the crowd can still chant Ricky. Like he's still Ricky. Like So and
I don't mind it. And his Starks is still right here. You good, baby? You good?
Well, but now you got to order a Ricky Saints thing from High Spots. With his new autograph.
No, I'm trying to be good. I've weaned off the High Spots. All right. I spent too much money. I have an ottoman and like a huge ottoman full of just like, what do I do with this? Why do I have a Kushida signed figure? I just like him. I don't even love him.
He's like
I have a Nia Jax signed figure. Jesus.
No, I'm the same way because I'm going to another horror convention this weekend. It's like, what am I going to come home with? Ridiculous merchandise.
Itchy, man. I can't even watch this show because I know I'm going to want to bid. Anyway.
I just buy too many movies. I bought Nosferatu. It came out this week.
Well, that's a good.
And it's about to be on Peacock free.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I could watch it for free first and then see if it's worth owning. I'm like, no, I was at Walmart.
One of the only few places that sells physical media anymore is Walmart.
Now my Walmart section is getting kind of depleted. But
yeah, I know. Even they're like cutting it down a little bit, and it's like, I could still go in there and get the most random movie from 20 years ago, but you're slacking on your new stuff, your recent releases.
Yeah,
Best Buy gave up. FYE's become basically a Funko Pop store. Like, yeah, Jesus.
Target is completely gone as well. They have no.
Target's gone.
Target's gone. Oh, Target's gone. Yeah, they sell vinyls, but they don't sell DVDs anymore or Blu-rays.
Vinyls are selling, I guess. If you're a music snob, I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, if you just love, music.
Yeah, it's like Walmart. It's Walmart and Barnes & Noble still has a physical media section. It's not the greatest, but they sell a lot of stuff at MSRP, which kind of sucks unless it's on sale. Like they do participate in the Arrow and Criterion sales, so they do stuff like that. There's a place called Orbit DVD that is near me. That's kind of a boutique store that sells a bunch of stuff, which is cool in Nashville. Mm-hmm. But yeah, places like that are kind of few and far between, nowadays.
Yeah, my Walmart, it's selling like it won't even sell like Blu-ray copies of most new releases anymore. Like only like some of the bigger ones, like Here that just came out. They only have the DVD. That Lord of the Rings animated movie, they only have a DVD copy. Like, not that I was going to buy it, but Harold and the Purple Crayon, they only had a DVD copy.
I will order stuff from Walmart online and get it like curbside. Like I did order my Terrifier 3 like steelbook from there and picked it up. Because they do still do steelbooks too, and things like that. So I'll pick up stuff every now and then just to swing by and get it on curbside. But yeah, the place like that, man, it's one of the few places you can get it online, obviously. So it's tricky.
But we're not a movie show. That's on their other channels. We can talk.
I do have movie news coming up later.
I was gonna say JPO could review that Chris Jericho horror movie that he wanted to watch on
I got two things then. Yeah, I got two things movie related.
Oh yeah, I wanna watch. It's on Shudder, right? Dark Match.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder. If you have Amazon Prime and you haven't done an AMC Plus free subscription for a week, you can have that option. Just throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have. I do have Shudder, but that AMC, it might be worth it for other things that could possibly be on there.
Jot that down, JPO. You can give us your quick, minute review of Dark Match.
Yeah. No, I'll be brief. I don't have. I've rambled too much to go on.
Yeah, gotcha.
But since I brought up Ricky Saints, is there anything else on the NXT front?
Oh yeah, there was another like
Um,
not necessarily the debut, but some big star showed up from TNA. Did you? I don't know if you heard.
Yeah.
Not Jordan Grace.
Okay.
We knew that was coming. Moose showing up on NXT. Yeah, that was a pretty big moment. I think it's a modern day dream match of some Moose and Obafemi, and Obafemi like, yeah, match it's gonna happen. So
that's speaking of meat. That's a nice meaty match.
I actually
Moose
have
and
kind of
Obafemi.
a quick live update on that. Actually, it's very timely. They flipped it tonight on TNA. Obafemi popped up on TNA.
oh, nice.
and
he
it's not gonna take too long.
saved the Hardys, right, from Moose and some of his guys. Yeah.
And next week already announced 6-man tag. Maybe get a little bit of a preview. Obafemi and the Hardys taking on Moose and his crew. Brian Myers from Kurt Hawkins and Eddie Edwards. So get a little bit of a taste of that. I'm sure we'll see the big match on some sort of pay-per-view coming down.
I was about to
say Oba and Moose, could either be on the TNA pay-per-view or they could stretch it out to Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend. That'd be a big match.
They already signed a 6-man tag for Sacrifice, the next one on March 14th, where it's some of the smaller NXT guys and like a 6-man tag along with Wesley. So there's already there will already be some WWE guys on that pay-per-view. So
yeah, I could imagine them crossing them over for that Stand and Deliver show at WrestleMania, and not just Moose, but like having a couple of TNA people like sprinkled in there, JPO, like for WrestleMania weekend. Like if you're gonna go big for that weekend and get people hyped about it, like you could definitely have some undercard stuff, under there with those guys, and put the Hardys on that show. That would be pretty cool, like get them kind of back in WWE of sorts, and get people excited. That'd be fun.
Do a big 4-way team match. One of them's the Hardys. That'll legitimately probably help sell tickets. Not that they need a lot of help, but like, why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, do they stretch Moose and Obafemi to the pay-per-view, or do they do it before and it's like some sort of screwy finish because outside shenanigans and like this is where we're gonna get a definitive finish.
Well, they could have shenanigans with the faction people, screwing around, interfering, and then. But I think if you stretching that to Stand and Deliver, that would make sense, man. Because Moose and Oba as the main event, like for the title, that'd be a big deal. Like that would be a big cross.
I mean, we're already seeing it happen. Just look at let's say as an example, Gunther and Jay. Like they can stretch what they want. Because now you can do next week on NXT a promo. Next week, Moose versus I don't know if you do a Moose fight, but like Oba versus Brian Myers, you know what I mean? Like,
the faction guys. Cycle through the faction guys, vice versa. Moose faces, one of Oba's buddies, something like that. Have everybody kind of looking on. There's a way you can like play around with it for a couple of weeks. And, like you said, Oba shows up on TNA occasionally, does a little cross promotion over there, So, there's a way you could do it and stretch it out to that because, that would make sense as a main event for that weekend. That's a big one.
I saw during the contract signing, it was a battle of former AEW guys. So I'm wondering if they're gonna build to a Ricky Saints Ethan Page match. I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
If that you stretch that to Stand and Deliver, I think that could be a big not co-main event, but like a
it's a big
another
match.
marquee matchup.
You want that to be your mania of NXT. So that's a big match.
Mm-hmm.
After Ethan finishes with Javon Evans, if he's not already. I'm sorry, I don't watch NXT as much, and now that I finally got rid of cable because I only used it for sports, and the sports I watch are all on streaming service now that I have. So it's like, why keep cable? So
I'm unfortunately for NXT. I do I just do YouTube clips. Occasionally, I'll go to my buddy's house. But
I listen to the Brian and Vinny recap because they recap NXT and Dynamite, each week on like Thursday nights, and so I'll listen to that, and then when they do the events, the PLEs, like I'll watch Stand and Deliver because that's what remember my meaty 3-way was last year with my Josh Briggs Dijak Obafemi match, was on Stand and Deliver, and that was fun. So I'll watch that, but they put those on Peacock, so that's not that hard to watch.
That was that was NXT. We'll see what they bring in the next week. I'm excited. Yeah, these former AEW guys. I love when people call. I'll be in like some Facebook groups and they'll call CM Punk a former AEW guy. They'll like they were in WWE before, like them and like Andrade and Cody. It's like
Cody Rhodes is former AEW. Cody Rhodes,
former AEW guy. But he's also a former WWE guy who came back. Like they're not like Ethan Page, yeah, Ricky Starks, yeah, a former AEW guy, sure, because they, Ricky showed up.
Their fame so far, yeah.
Yeah, so
Punk like if Malachi Black, Aleister Black, whatever it comes back, and it's like he was in NXT before he went to AEW.
Like he was a Raw SmackDown guy too. He had pay-per-view matches, and Cesaro had pay-per-view matches. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. So
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if those either of those, Miro or Malachi Black show up in the next few weeks, or if they're going to save them for like that Raw after Mania. Hey, here's one of our big returns. Speaking of big returns, I'm kind of stalling on AEW until Richie gets here.
Yeah, that's fine.
But speaking of big returns,
you want to kill time, so something else.
Yeah. I just it was because it's fresh in my mind. It was because it was announced like an hour ago. The Rock will be on SmackDown tomorrow. Yeah, interesting that he's on showing up on SmackDown and not on Raw where Roman is. So I'm curious to see what happens, if it's anything WrestleMania related or if it's just, hey, I'm just going to be here because we want to boost ratings. So I'm curious.
Well, I mean, his post on Twitter did say the final boss was coming to SmackDown.
It did say final boss, yeah. So
he didn't just say I'm gonna show up on SmackDown. Literally in the tweet, it says something like yada yada yada. The final boss, is here to cause chaos or something.
I'm the seventh guy in the chamber.
Yeah, so he is advertising himself as the final.
The final on the top of one.
Well, no, because they did that before. Remember, they just started with 3 people.
Oh, with a 3-way. Yeah. I was like, where do you fit him?
He just waits on the outside, and the light shines on the entrance.
They give him a nice little floating chair on top of one of the chambers. I had more Rock news too.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. So go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, he might have a bit of an acting comeback because not only do we have that Safdie Brothers film that might be pretty dope. Yeah, he might be in a Scorsese film sometime soon. As one of the leads along Emily Blunt and the Scorsese stalwart, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, some Hawaiian crimes in the 60s and 70s. So, that sounds cool. I mean, not necessarily a pairing I saw coming, but I'm down for it because, if you look at The Rock's earlier stuff, he was kind of almost like a Batista, which sounds weird to say almost like Batista when Batista was years later, but has been picking fun character things sometimes, be cool. Or even Pain and Gain a few years later,
or now just stuff like Snitch or Faster, which was a little bit different.
Snitch is not bad. Faster's a bit darker, but then
I just watched Faster for the first. I just watched Faster for the first time not too long ago. Pretty decent movie. I liked it.
No, it's not bad, and it's slightly out of the realm too. Because, like I said, recently I almost never hate his movies. But they're all very much kind of in the same vein. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Red Notice, Red One, Skyscraper, Rampage, Jungle Cruise. They're all just 3 stars, PG, PG-13, fun fare. So it's cool to see he's doing a Safdie Brothers or Scorsese. So yeah, I'm excited for that. That'd be cool. Him and Leo, that's a fun pairing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's like. I also finally, JPO, you tried. We finally got to the Rundown and Walking Tall. I had never seen those two.
I love the Rundown.
Finally got to them. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed them. They were both free on YouTube. If anyone's looking to watch them, free on YouTube. With ads.
Yeah, the Rundown was the first because Scorpion King is fine, but you still see he's very much of a novice. Rundown very much plays to his strengths and has a good side cast. Yeah, I like the Rundown a lot.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed. I was trying to because Pez is doing he does recast over on the Movie Hero Network, and they're doing The Princess Bride this upcoming Monday, and I was supposed to be on that episode, but unfortunately my boss scheduled a meeting because she's like, well, I scheduled it on Monday because I thought because you do comedy on Tuesdays and blah blah blah, and I was like, Yeah, but this is like the one Monday I
The
actually
one Monday I was free to
time.
do something. Yeah.
No, it's like, and
I
I was,
know. And it's like, well, and we hit you because I knew it's like you're a big fan of that movie. So I was like, I didn't know if you want to do it. And yeah, you said then after the fact, you were going to do your casting all wrestlers in all the roles.
Yeah.
So, and whether that works or not, or you get the votes, I don't know. Like, yeah, I might be the only person who could be swayed by that because I don't think
right.
Wolfman's a huge wrestling fan. Jordan's a very, very casual wrestling fan. So, yeah, it would have been like hit or miss. But you could have won me over with a few. We started going back and forth, and I said, Santino for the Wallace Shawn part, right? Like 100%. Yeah. Inconceivable. Like you switch it to cups.
You mispronounce all the words on purpose. It's so great. I love the he and his I think it was his daughter on NXT. They had a back and forth, and she's like, well, now let's get back to the day of the vengeance. And he was like, you mean Vengeance Day? Like,
he stealing my gimmick.
Yeah, well, he was mispronouncing all these wrestlers' names and doing that. And then she said that, and he's like, you mean Vengeance Day? Don't be so silly. So,
yeah.
No, others. Anytime I come across, if I'm scrolling like on Facebook, I'm scrolling through reels, and the Santino, mispronouncing names pops up. I don't care if I've seen it before. I'm stopping and watching it for the minute.
Batista, Rodney DePiper,
no. John Chain.
That's good stuff.
No, so, yeah, we mentioned it in the results. We have our final two qualifiers for the Elimination Chamber. So those two matches are set. To nobody's surprise, Seth Rollins defeated Finn Balor, who I think is in desperate need of a win. Please, Finn Balor, get a win.
I think the new Dolph Ziggler Miz, like, he just fucking can't get one. Always in good matches, but holy shit.
Yeah, the street fight with Priest was good. Match with Rollins, yeah. He needs to leave Judgment Day. Let's bring back the Demon. The Demon's a good gimmick. When he brings it out,
I think drastically kind of needs it at this point. Yeah,
he needs something because he's too good of a talent.
That might be fun. Demon and Dominic, that'd be a fun little Mania match. I'd buy that.
I'd buy that for $1, or whatever Peacock costs nowadays.
You need like $10 I think.
Yeah. Whatever Peacock costs, yeah. That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, Finn, I think, but Seth, it was a foregone conclusion that I think, nobody thought Finn was going to win and enter the chamber, because nobody wants to see Finn versus Damian Priest again, at least for a while. That's run its course. So, yeah. And I'm curious to see what kind of storylines come from the chamber. Obviously whoever wins is going to go after Cody, but you can see other WrestleMania potential matches get started. Do they continue going Punk versus Rollins leading into Mania, maybe with Reigns added in there? Logan Paul, what's he doing? And then maybe it seems like they might go Damian Priest and Drew, so that might continue in the chamber. I think, not to spoil predictions for next week, but it's fine because I'm not going to be on the show next week. I'll be doing comedy. I do think Cena's going to win. I do think we end up going. It's either Cena or Punk for me. Those I think are the two, Cody opponents that I would like to see the most. But I'm leaning towards Cena. So yeah, give him one more Mania main event. It's not the end of the world. Give him a Mania main event in his final run. But yeah, then there's Logan Paul, who's just gonna be there. So I'm curious to see what storylines come from that. I'm excited for the match. What about you guys? You guys digging the 6 in the chamber?
Yeah, and I don't know, who's going to win that one necessarily, because I think there's a couple of possibilities you could have, coming out of it. I mean, I think Cena and Punk are kind of the favorites, one of the two, to win, because I could even see them going with Punk and Cody. They tease that, and that would be a pretty big, Mania match as well. So you could definitely make that argument. I don't really see necessarily the others winning it. Even though you can make an argument for somebody like Drew, but I don't see them pulling the trigger on it. Like I said, I think they're leaning towards him and Damian. Logan Paul for sure. I don't see that. Logan will probably have a match on Mania with somebody. I don't know with who, but with somebody, I'm sure. Seth Rollins. Yeah, I think he'll have something else to do. Yeah, maybe a Roman or something like that, at Mania. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, I mean that match is looking pretty good. The women's one is looking good. Yeah, I was just gonna run it down for you for anybody who didn't know. Yeah, we got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Naomi Bailey, and Roxanne Perez. Again, nice to see both Alexa and Roxanne Perez in there. Right after they're kind of, tooling back around on the main roster. We'll see where that goes because obviously we got Tiffany and Charlotte, so it'll be whoever goes on to face what's her fuck Rhea Ripley. Yeah, I mean, I don't see them doing Liv Morgan again. You know what I mean? Because they've kind of done that to death already. So they've already had 3 matches. So I don't see Liv Morgan, getting out of there with that. I would think. I mean, they're kind of looks like they're maybe leaning towards Bailey, maybe, but I could also say Bianca. Bianca would be a pretty big match as well. So we'll kind of see what happens there. And Sammy and Kevin Owens in Toronto, which makes sense, both Canadian guys. Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. And do they continue that into Mania? They could always, have some kind of screwy thing and then have some kind of stipulation match at Mania and keep that going. We don't know.
Yeah. JPO, your thoughts on the way the chamber is shaping up?
Yeah, no, not too much more to add other than it's giving me Rumble vibes, and I mean that in a good way. Like, as in, I like the people that are in it. Not necessarily settled, like, obviously on one person, you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, I look forward to it. Yeah, this has potential to be a good chamber night as well for both match quality and maybe, just and where it leads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to see Roxanne Perez get the win after she looked good in the Rumble. She's looked good on NXT. If you want to jumpstart her and give her a nice push, her or Alexa Bliss. I wouldn't mind seeing Alexa Bliss get a push back to the title picture. Bianca's not like what I'm saying is all 5 women besides Liv. I would love to see go up against Rhea Ripley. That's not saying that Liv isn't a good worker. We've
seen her and Rhea like 3 times. Like we don't need that again. Like I think I'm fine with them not doing that again.
Yeah, it's not a knock on Liv. It's just a knock on the booking. Like don't book it again, please.
Yeah.
So, anything else TNA related, JPO?
That you can actually do have some TNA stuff here. Yeah. So while we're talking some WWE incursion, we also just got some new older WWE guys. There are some former contracted members popping up. Some thought he was going to go AEW / Ring of Honor, but Elijah, aka Elias, is walking with TNA. It sounds like, and it sounds like he's even a contracted guy. It sounds like they're going to try to make him kind of a full-time member. And also making their debuts, the Carlito's younger brothers and nephews, Epico and Primo, popped up recently as well here too. So not sure if they're part-timers, full-timers. TNA does a lot of people for like a few tapings and then like they move on. So we'll see if they're sticking around or not. But I thought those were interesting TNA debuts.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Still stalling for Richie to get here because I'm curious on his live from AEW. I'm short on news. I don't.
I got stuff.
All right, cool. Yeah, keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, the new LFG, Let's Fucking Go, aka Legends and Future Greats. Although they definitely do allude that I feel like it really was Let's Fucking Go because even Shawn Michaels says it at the top, and I think Triple H says it at one point. But I think they probably A&E was like, can we get something else? So that premiered on Sunday. Anyone watch that on A&E? Anyone?
I don't have cable, so no.
I only saw it because the A&E app had it for free. So I don't know if they're going to continue to do that. Maybe that's just a premiere to get you enticed kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised. But no, I mean, I dug it. It's a mix of Tough Enough, other background shows like Breaking Ground, and The Voice or American Idol, because now there's judges, there's teams now. They're scouting the talent. Some have been there for 2 weeks. Some have been there for almost 2 years at the PC. It's Undertaker, Bubba Ray Dudley, Mickey James, and Booker T. And so, yeah, I mean, I liked it. I don't know if they're really trying to oversell it. It's a groundbreaking look, and we've seen similar looks. But but still, I thought it was an interesting show. And the other cool thing about it, too, unlike Tough Enough, is it does end with, or at least normally down the line will end with, actual matches, which is cool. It's not just let's see if maybe you can do a drop kick. Oh, he's pretty good. We're going to keep him this week. They're actually testing them in real matches, which is, I think, the right choice. More interesting than that. Let's see.
Yeah, I just looked up. Vic Joseph and Jeremy Borash are the match commentators. That's interesting.
And shout out to them. Vic's been pretty good. Kind of taking off TV, and then Jeremy Borash is. I mean, he's been around back into the WCW days doing stuff. Commentary, and owes me money. That's a separate point. But I got good news, at least for me. I think you guys might agree. It sounds like Goldberg won't be shoehorned in on WrestleMania. Okay. Goldberg was stated recently in an interview saying it'll be sometime this summer. So, saying that it's probably going to be his last match at 58 years old. So, that's cool. Yeah, probably a nice Saudi payday, or, I don't know what else. There is, other than, obviously SummerSlam. So, we'll see. So, get that money. Don't take the title off Gunther, and it's not Mania. I'm okay.
You mean take the title off, yeah, because Jay's going to take the title off Gunther.
Oh, well, that's probably true. Yeah, and actually, still don't beat Gunther, regardless of either way. But
I love the Jay goes backstage, and the New Day come up, and they're talking about Kofi Mania, and Jay's like, "Yeah, but Kofi Mania wouldn't have happened if the Usos didn't forfeit." That's what could have happened.
You guys mentioned before, new wrestling horror film dropped a few weeks ago on Shudder. It's called A Dark Match, which is actually a really good punny title here, because it's basically a group of wrestlers. I think they're in Canada. It's late 80s as well, and they get a really big payday to wrestle for this kind of just obscure group off the map. They find out later on. And then things start to go sinister. People start to maybe get killed in the ring and whatnot. And the only wrestlers in it, is he the only wrestler? Yeah, it's Chris Jericho. He's kind of the leader of this weird group here that's going through these rituals in order to get something happening. I think the only other actor is one of the Walking Dead alumni, and Grand Theft Auto alumni, Stephen Ogg, is pretty good as one of the wrestlers as well. Very color tinted. If you've ever seen movies like that, hey, Richie's here. Hey, very color tinted. Hey, look who bought merch. It's very red askew for a lot of the film here, so it's kind of a distracting look, maybe to hide certain elements as well. I did enjoy the one aspect of it. It's kind of, ever seen the Taipei death match where they dip their hands in glass? So they actually had one of those happening as well here. The main female was pretty good as well. I thought she was pretty good. Otherwise, it just it was okay, kind of one note, tricked along, very much a B movie here. So I think our buddy John Barr actually liked it more than I did.
There was another wrestler, guy known as Kid Chocolate, played Enigma in the movie, Moa Dunn.
Oh, okay. Well, I say wrestler that we've heard of.
Right. No, but I did click on his IMDb, and it brings up AEW Dark, Elevation shit like that's.
That's kind of cool.
So
yeah.
He hasn't IMDb
see his face either. He's in a mask the entire time, and also doesn't speak very often either.
I assume you're talking about Dark Match.
Dark Match.
Yeah, I'm giving my mini review of Dark Match. If you want to add on, I don't know if you've seen it afterwards.
I haven't seen it.
Then that's fine. So yeah, I think our buddy John Marr actually liked it more than I did. I think he gave it 3. I'd give it 2. I never hated it, but I also never really it never got me to that second gear either. And also I'm very torn on the ending, the final scene. I'm very torn on as well. If we ever do get around to it.
Okay.
Maybe
Jericho, unfortunately, is very one note too the entire time. He's not a very interesting villain, and I don't know if that's his fault, the screenplay's fault, or both. But I obviously went in Jericho's got a meaty role, and it's not interesting to watch.
So, Richie, how was AEW?
Yeah, that's good. I'm just keeping anticipating. Yeah, no, it was a really good show. Really good show. It's probably a show that they, that they needed to. I mean, they always put on, they put on good shows, but they probably needed a good show that felt like a big deal, and this was a good show that felt like a big deal. So, yeah, I don't know if you want me. I won't go. I won't go match by match, but there was interesting moments where it was like, because it was meant to be in a bigger venue, right? Stone Court at that arena, and then it got they kind of had to go to the entertainment center, which is a bit of a downgrade. Like some people's tickets got stuffed around because they weren't allocated the correct sort of seating matching with what it would have been at Stone Court. Mine sort of was like that, where I was like in this like row H, but I came in there and I was in the seat where I could get to, but it wasn't like a wheelchair seat necessarily. I could get to it, but then if I needed to go take a pee or whatever, I was like, it would be very difficult. So I had to. So they moved me, and then this other guy's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll be right back. And then I'm like, okay, cool. And then he's like, I'm just gonna take the door 8. I'm like, okay, cool, but I'll be right back. And then this other guy came up and he started pushing me. He's like, oh yeah, and then took me to this other area and he's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay, I'm putting my foot down now. Who the fuck are you? And someone told me door 8. I'm just waiting for that. It's like, oh, this is door 8, right? I'm like, okay, cool, communication, that'd be nice. Just tell me this is door 8, it'll be fine. But yeah, so finally, after like 2-3 moves, got to my right spot. But yeah, the show itself was really good. Probably one other negative thing is they didn't. I've heard this an issue with AEW live shows in general. They didn't bring enough merch with them. They sold out like before the show.
Not new news either. Yeah, in Phoenix, I was very surprised at like the section they had. I remember being like, "Is there a second booth, a third booth?" No, that's it. So yeah, very weird like money losing aspect that they obviously had.
Yeah, and they don't miss you either. This was $80 a shit.
Yeah, but I saw quite a few of them. I saw quite a few of those on camera in the crowd, so I'm sure. Yeah, they were selling them like hotcakes. Like, because that looks like it was an exclusive for that show, obviously. So maybe they had a certain amount of boxes full of them, and just when it's gone, it's gone. I guess because they didn't want to get stuck with them. Maybe I don't know.
Given it was
well, yeah, you do want to kind of under order than over order. Yeah, in that case.
Yeah. Given it was in Brisbane and there were people, kind of locals on the card and given one in the main event, it's very impressive that Will Ospreay is still the almost overgone show. So, but yeah, so that was cool. There were probably, I heard on the broadcast, there was probably the crowd sounded muted. Sometimes that could be for the reason that sometimes some of the chants were, probably not safe for TV. Like at one point, it was during the Tony Storm match, the crowd was trying to rip her tits off to Mariah May.
That came off. I heard that at least, but they kind of it started and then you could tell they lowered the volume like once it got going. But there was a guy in the front row who had a sign that just flat out on camera said "rip her tits off." So yeah, it was right there, like within full view of everything. And then there was a couple of moments where it seemed like they were screwing with the sound a little bit. Yeah, because maybe y'all were chanting some obscene things here and there, which is fine.
Calling people wankers and stuff. It was cool, but
we definitely chanted "fuck you, Moxley" in Tacoma. So
fuck you, Moxley. Yeah, Moxley got booed a lot. I mean, if we're talking about booking, that was only booking decision. I'm like, why did Copeland lose? That was stupid. My
thing about that was Copeland has a match with Moxley at the next pay-per-view, so either have Copeland somehow get a flash pin on Moxley to at least make him look good, or beat Jay White. It was a tag team match.
Yeah, or why couldn't Jay White just pin? Or why couldn't
Or Copeland could have just pinned Claudio. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a tag team match. There are options there. You don't have to have the two main guys. Yeah, one of the guys go over on the other dude who he's supposed to be, defending against or whatever. That seems kind of odd. It was odd.
But speaking of Adam Copeland, he's insane, jumping off the balcony. Which, if you ever go to Entertainment Center, there's not much room between the balcony and the fucking stairs. 15 coming back from broken, 51 years old, coming back from a broken leg. That spot was nuts. But yeah, and then I also sort of clear up. So there was some information that like Tony Khan came out at the end of Tony Storm and Mariah May got booed. He did get booed, but he came out at the end of the Ring of Honor taping or at the start of, and then we booed him. I think there was could be a mixture of things. Could be the stuff around, but also I think maybe he's just like it's just fun to boo the the authority figure, and he's also just kind of a bit of a dweeb. I don't know. It's just kind of fun to boo.
I think it was more for the controversy about like, hey, this is going to be a pay-per-view. No, wait, I never said it was going to be a pay-per-view, even though I definitely said it was going to be a pay-per-view. But no, I'm trying to gaslight you and saying that it was never going to be a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like that could be, and the venue changed and everything. It was like, you don't book a 50,000 seat stadium for Collision. That just doesn't happen. That's ridiculous. So
but I mean, given how over Harley Cameron was, maybe I would call it audible. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't have been surprised if she went over. She was great. She's one of the most entertaining things on the roster at the moment, not to be biased. And for some reason, like I mentioned in the chat during Ring of Honor tapings, Big Bill is so over. every time Big Bill got in the, every time someone tagged in that wasn't Big Bill, they would chant to Jericho, "You're not Bill. You're not Bill." And then every time Bandito or someone one of the outrunners would hit Big Bill, they would boo. It was funny. He's really over. Don't know how, but he's over as hell. So
I know how. He's awesome. I think he's great.
And that's not the first time that's happened. He was really over. I can't remember where it was, but it was really over. And I think it was UK or something. He was really over there too. Yeah. So it was a fun show. They did say they will be right at the end, like it's probably getting the crowd back on site. They did say they'll be back next year. I don't know. I don't think that necessarily means Brisbane, but Australia at some point. But hopefully they don't try to gun for a stadium.
50,000 seat stadium.
Yeah, hopefully they go for an arena. I'm guessing they'll try for Sydney, Melbourne, maybe Perth. But hey,
well, they could do like a multi-city like thing.
Sure.
Maybe do Dynamite in one city and like Collision in another city, but just book like regular venues. You know what I mean? And sell them out. Like you could do just do a multi-city stop where like you stop at 3 or 4 of them and just tape a couple of shows and like just don't advertise it as a pay-per-view. They just book a regular arena and do some Dynamites or do Dynamite, Collision, whatever. Like it's fine.
And the crowd it was absolutely nuts for that opening tag match on Grand Slam. Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega won, and the hidden blade into the Angel's wings was great. I was like, holy shit! So that match ruled. So great show. We'll go again.
Crowd seemed they would have definitely bought or seemed like they were really buying into Buddy almost beating Okada. Like that, those near falls are really good too in that match. Like
there was one near fall where he just got his foot on the rope right.
Just barely got his foot on the ropes, and y'all couldn't chant bullshit. That was good. It was good.
And then like again in Ring of Honor tapings too, there was Robbie Eagles had a shot at Lee Moriarty, and that was some good near falls as well. So that's really good show. Hopefully I get to see them again. But so I don't know. It was again. Like I said, it was a show that they probably needed. So to make them feel sort of a bit more, get them back and sort of to be a bit more big league as they were kind of like a year or two ago. So all positives really.
Oh
yeah. JP Lopez, I haven't been able to watch Grand Slam actually.
No, I watched it. Yeah, I finished it today. Actually, I'd watched it a little bit, and then I was having some like buffering issues, and then Max kind of went down, so we switched to a DVD, and then came back to it later. But yeah, that opening match was great. Yeah, I mean, as you expect with those four guys, just going crazy in there. Yeah, great near falls. Yeah, great. Yeah, the hidden blade into the one winged angel was really good. No, it was good to see that those guys. I love Takeshita, so anytime you throw in this guy, Kyle Fletcher's great. He's really kind of coming to his own. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, I really like the Buddy Matthews Okada match. I thought that was pretty good too. Yeah, that would have been cool if Buddy would have kind of gotten the win there. I think the crowd would have loved it, but it is what it is. I can see more of Buddy and Brody kind of getting in the tag team mix, though. They're pushing like the Hellhounds thing, so I'll expect them to kind of keep going with the tag team thing for now. I mean, yeah, Harley was over, but I didn't expect her to be Mercedes. Although, yeah, you could have, because you could have done it, for a fun thing. I mean, I think it's. It's not like Mercedes still didn't have 3 other belts, even if she lost that one coming out of it and wouldn't get it back, but it is what it was. But at least, I would say at least, Richie, there was a lot of, middle stuff where the heels were going over, but at least they bookended the show, like at least the main show with the Omega and Ospreay getting the win and the bookend with Tony Storm winning in the main. So
you could tell with with the Australians not going over with Harley and Buddy, and then knowing what the main event is, I'm like, Tony's winning this match for sure. It was just, it was set up so obvious, but it was still a good moment. And like Tony got on the mic later, and then just like, she said, just thank people, but then she's like, I was going to do the nut bush, but I tore my labia.
No, but it was a fun show. Yeah, I thought overall, it was a good, solid, entertaining show, and most of the matches were really good. Mercedes still needs a new finisher. That finisher sucks. So and the finisher's anticlimactic every time she fucking hits it. So get a new finish, or just use that submission. Use the
what used to be called like the bank statement.
Bank statement, just use the submission. That's fine. Just use that, or just get a new other regular finisher because that one sucks. It always looks like shit. So,
the bank statement. What would you call it with Mercedes Moné? Sure they'll
the CE over.
There you go.
Oh, I just came up with one right now.
So. I didn't realize how annoying her song is, by the way, until I saw it live. Because it's like it's all right for a while, but then you're like, okay, I'm over saying I'm over CEO for a while now. CEO. I'm like, okay, this is all the song is. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, you're the CEO.
Got it. Thank you. I just still get annoyed that it's Gunther's old music. That annoys me.
Yeah.
Like even the intro. Yeah, it's Gunther's old music, which bothers me for some reason because I still like old music.
Yeah. JPO, did you watch Grand Slam?
Yeah, no, I did watch it. I watched it just the night before, I think, trying to catch up on things actually a little bit. I actually have I do have a sad segment though. I can no longer say I'm on 100 on the shows anymore. I have missed a couple Dynamites or a Collision here or there. I might go back because I didn't want to kind of be 100 again. But as of this writing, I can't say I'm 100. But I did go for Grand Slam because I wanted to see how tiny the ring was. Did the ring seem tiny?
It was.
I mean, that was the whole thing on the internet. And no one in the ring gave a damn shit. But I was like, it was.
But the only glaring part was when it was a wide shot. He'd just be like, man, there's a lot of room for activities. Like, there's so much free space.
As somebody, JPO, who I have repped in both 16-foot rings and 18-foot rings. There is a difference when you're in there. Those 16-foot rings are really tight. We had one for All Aggression Pro back in the day that we used to tool around with that made its rounds. That ring is like, when you're in there, especially if you're having like a tag match or multi-man match, it's very, very tight. You have to be careful. Like one-on-one match, not so bad. But like, that tag match opening, you can tell they were like, there's only so much room to like hit the ropes and like do this, whatever. And And then when I finally started working shows with 18-foot rings, like it makes a big difference. And WWE has a 20-foot ring, so it's even bigger. But I know AEW usually just has an 18, which is fine. That's like your standard ring size. But yeah, you could tell in the wide shots. I was like, oh, that's a 16-foot ring. I know what a 16-foot ring looks like.
I just how they mapped out, for a bigger ring, But I thought everyone else did well, so. Yeah, and the rest of the card was really good too. I thought this was a very high level episode of Collision. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I didn't love last night's Dynamite. It was good, but it was a filler Dynamite. This felt like a real kind of go out of your way to watch Collision.
Mm-hmm. The only thing you have to watch on Dynamite really is I feel like is the MJF Hangman promo at the start. They're both good promo people. Other than that, the main event's fine, but who's gonna win. and MJF,
it's good when they upload a 23-minute YouTube video of your promo segment. So
that segment went way too long. It was good, but holy shit, it went fucking.
I mean, we only had 4 matches on Dynamite. And that's a little.
And then you could have squeezed another match in there somewhere, like another women's match or something. Yeah.
For a company that likes to put 13 matches on a pay-per-view card, 4 on a weekly show.
And that's definitely okay. As a huge because I used to watch them all and I would take notes of them all. That's definitely more of a last year or so thing. Like you watch those early Dynamites, there's always 5 to 6 almost every time. And if there is 4, they're usually pretty lengthy. Like that's more of a recent thing where no, there's some really talky Dynamites,
Mm-hmm.
I at the end, I know, obviously when he spat at him, I didn't think anything of it, but man, he got a loogie because it was dangling right on his.
Yeah, he got that perfect placement for the camera where it was literally hanging off his eyebrow. I was like, oh, good job, man. You're it was like when you remember back in the day when it was the Randy Orton McFoley thing and he spit and the giant loogie just hung on his cheekbone right there. It was perfect size and shape and color. It was man, sometimes you just nail it. It's good. But did we need the Ricochet thing where he came out and cut a promo and Prince Nana was basically hey, could you give me my robe back? And he just went, no, bye. Just left. No. And he just left.
Nothing was really advanced there.
Yeah. It's oh, great. That accomplished a lot. Good job. So it just seemed kind of pointless. But yeah.
Yeah. The Revolution card is shaping up pretty nicely. As of now, the pre-show it has Big Boom versus to be announced. So we'll see what happens there.
I love to be announced. He's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, TBA is really good.
That should be a gimmick. JPO, book a to be announced guy, to be determined guy on one of your shows.
To be announced for Vacant.
Yeah, TBA versus Vacant for.
And their opponent, mystery opponent.
Yeah, TBA versus mystery opponent.
The rest of the card, as of now, there are 5 matches, it seems that have been announced. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher in the steel cage match. Takeshita versus Omega for the International Championship.
Hey, that's not confirmed. Takeshita versus Orange Cassidy next week.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. Why is Takeshita participating in his own mini tournament for the International?
Yeah, Kenny Omega against but it's you've already
Kenny Omega's the final boss who's not the champion. That's fucking backwards.
It's very obvious, that they're going that direction. They announced the thing, and then you're oh, but could it be Orange Cassidy? No, it can't be. Yeah, you're going this
because
direction.
Omega's feuding with Don Callis and Takeshita right now. That makes no sense.
Why are you going in this direction just to do the obvious thing? Just make the match. Who cares about Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy?
You have a big enough roster. You didn't need that shoehorn in that title match,
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of, I forgot to say this last week. Trios titles finally only took them 90-something days to get defended.
They defended on Collision, right?
So,
but they're also having a match against fucking Daddy Magic and the other guy.
At least they fucking defended them. Well, Jesus. No. It was against No, it wasn't against Adam Cole's team. It was against Cole. So it was against
yeah. I think on Collision they're gonna face Danny Garcia and Teddy Magic and
yeah.
But it's Undisputed King. Yeah, Undisputed Kingdom.
And I did laugh too. Excalibur had the gall to mention how long they've had the titles, and I was like, 3 months without the defenses. Fuck you, man.
That was like when Dean Ambrose, or John Moxley, was a US champion for that long. It's like, he never really defended it. Remember?
I'd like to see. It seems like they're pushing the Samoa Joe team, the Ops. I'd really like to see them eventually get a shot on pay-per-view against like the Death Rider team, because I think that could be like.
Sure.
A really like solid like trios, title match. And there's so many trios like in the company like that you could play around with, because I mean you have the Ops, you have the Patriarchy, you have you have the Undisputed, Undisputed Kingdom, you have the Learning Tree. Technically, it could be like a trio. Yeah, but I mean like you've got a decent amount of these trios, like things going around that you could definitely do.
That was kind of the egregious, crazy part of like 90 days. It's like, it's not like you don't have teams, and if you don't have teams or times, kills those titles then.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like, the Hurt Syndicate's gonna have. I feel the Hurt Syndicate's gonna have 3 soon with Cedric Alexander. I just feel like that's probably gonna happen.
Well, if you count MVP, they're kind of already at 3. But yeah, Cedric will be more of a permanent roster. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind MVP being more of just like the voice of the group, and like just being the manager. Like I'm fine with that. I don't need.
Well, I'm just saying he'll dabble. He has said that he's not done. So he'll dabble.
No, I mean he can dabble. And he looked good the last time he was in there.
Put a title on him.
No. But yeah, I can see them doing pretty soon Joe's team versus the Death Riders. That'd be a pretty solid matchup. So work for me.
Yeah. The rest of the Revolution card, MJF versus Paige, Moxley versus Cope, and then Mercedes Moné versus Momo Watanabe for the TBS Championship. So
she was randomly.
See what other 8 matches they decide to add between now and then.
She was at the Grand Slam thing in the front front row.
She got a decent reaction, which I was surprised that I didn't know. And the crowd wouldn't know who she is, but she got a decent reaction. But I didn't know she was because Ember on the ROH taping. I was going to say Athena was looking at her as well, so I'm like, they're setting up that. But obviously, So I don't know, should be good. I should probably mention too that then and Matt didn't announce ahead of time at Grand Slam was like there was some jobber. I don't remember anyone, but I think he's a local. Like I want to say he was Tommy something. But and then I was like, who is he facing? Because he just like came out with the referee, didn't have any entrance. And then it was Mark Davis, and because he's from Brisbane, Australia. It's like but like the crowd's still trying to do sold out. So even during the match, people were trying. Match he wasn't in. The 6-man people were trying to fuck Mark Davis. So, but anyway, I thought that was interesting. But Watanabe, I haven't seen her wrestle that much, so but I'm looking forward to the match. But I don't know. Hopefully, unless she's like fully soft, hopefully, I don't see her winning the title or anything. It's a match.
Mercedes has to keep holding on to the 19 belts that she has, or whatever it is now. Anything else on the
Gabe Kidd is debuting on Collision this week. The guy who faced Kenny Omega in New Japan. So there are spoilers out there if you want to know who he faces, but I won't say them on here for anybody who just wants to find out. It's not a huge name. I'll just leave it at that. But it's not Kenny Omega. It's not facing Kenny Omega on Collision. So he is.
The only other AEW, I don't know what you have, but the only other AEW thing is like it looks like Josh Alexander's going to AEW.
I saw also Mike Bailey might go to AEW.
I feel like that's on the horizon for a while. Like they talked about that a while ago, and he just said it just hasn't happened yet. But that'd be great.
I think it's going to be soon. Yeah, those two could. Well, we'll see if.
I was kind of hoping Josh Alexander would pick up in WWE because I'd almost rather see him there. But I
think it's just it was also the scheduling. It was like not scheduling, you know, like the how he's not going to have to be on the road as much with AEW and shit. So I think that's kind of what clinched it for him.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, if you want to take time off in WWE, all you have to do is take a pile driver from Kevin Owens. Oh, we got to be off for 2 months now. That could.
Have you talked about the unsanctioned match, even though they're promoting it?
Yeah.
Always laugh.
Oh,
Oh, he must have been
I think
switching tabs. He clicked the wrong tab.
He closed the wrong tab again. Yeah, we know we talked about that. I wonder. I'm torn because obviously I think the Elimination Chamber should close the show, given what it's for and how many big names are in it. Obviously Cena, but I wouldn't be upset if they closed the show with Owens and Zayn.
Did they say it's an unsanctioned match? When did they say that?
They said on because Sami Zayn isn't cleared. But
is it being promoted as an unsanctioned match, as in like anything goes, like no rules, or as just like? Okay.
Yeah, they said unsanctioned, but they're promoting it. I always hate that.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did the same shit with Swerve and fucking Hangman.
I know, but like, I don't like I don't like the idea of unsanctioned in general.
So they're gonna do the same thing where they like AEW where they turn the lights off except for like the ring light.
Whoopsies.
Or unsanctioned with Jericho and Cole and Cole got what? Did Cole get disqualified or something? It's like what?
It's like the referee stopped it or something, which is what the referee is not supposed to do. Match, where the referee literally say is only supposed to.
I've got a nerdy question.
Yeah.
On Dynamite this week, right? I don't know if anyone saw it. Big Bill.
Oh, and got counted out? Yeah.
Yeah. What? It was never billed as a last man standing. It was billed as a street fight.
No, and yeah, it was a weird thing because Hobbs knocks Bill off a thing and he goes through like a barbed wire table, right? Okay, fine, cool spot. But instead of like him going to pin him or just being unconscious, because they did say KO, like knockout, why couldn't the referee just say he's out? Okay, ring the bell. Instead, the referee goes 1, 2. I'm like, that's not how a
Bill's
knockout
awake.
works.
He's trying to untangle himself. Like
he's like tangled up.
He's awake. He's cognizant. So what is that a rule?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I think the referee thought it was the last man standing.
Like you said,
it wasn't.
I don't know why they could have pinned him or B had just have Aubrey like, oh, he's out. Fucking call it. Yeah, it was weird to go C with him like, I can't get out. All right, can't get out. What?
Yeah, it was odd.
I don't know. I was just wondering, because both me and Corey watched it live and we're like, huh? When is that a thing?
In AEW, when they can make up their own match rules.
Evidently, they really are.
Because they even said like when the match started, Tony or whoever, Scott or whoever was like street fight, no disqualification, no count outs, and I was like, you just counted him out.
He's been counted out.
I mean, I guess I'll maybe okay with that because maybe he just simply meant obviously they're not going to get counted out originally. Like, yeah, you're outside the ring, but this is more of a knockout count out. But no, she counted out because he was. I don't know. Yeah, never mind. I can't condone any of it. I'm trying to give him like the benefit of the doubt, but when I'm just saying, as wrestling fans, like that's not how shit's ever been. Like, what are you making new shit up and not explaining it good either?
Yeah. Right. And here's one more thing that I forgot when we were talking about Elimination Chamber and the card for this year. Apparently, I don't know how I missed it, but Wikipedia's got it on there, and you can always trust Wikipedia. But we're gonna have a women's tag team match: Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. So I forgot that was.
No, that's confirmed. I think that was confirmed like last week. Something.
Yeah, I just missed it when talking about the card earlier.
Filler match with a legend. That's cool.
Well, and Trish is Canadian, so that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, think about that. She's Canadian.
Yeah, it was a nice little continuation. Like Trish did eliminate LeRae from the Rumble, so a little storyline there. I wonder if it'll lead into Trish getting the Mania moment, or if this is just, hey, we're in Toronto. Do you want to have a match? Like I could also see it just being that.
I think it's just that, but we'll see how it happens.
Yeah.
And last time she came back for a while. So I'm not. But I would also be okay if she didn't take a Mania spot from somebody who's already full time. Yeah, no, any.
I had one thing, one outside of a whole different company. So JP will be interested. The MLW Battle Riot is coming soon in April, and there's been some announcements of some people in the Battle Riot, 40-man. So the most interesting thing is Matt Riddle's title will be on the line in the Battle Riot, kind of like some of the Royal Rumble. So he's defending his heavyweight title inside. So he's participating, but also whoever wins the Battle Riot will be the champion. So that's an interesting stipulation for this year. And a couple of big indie names announced. The most recent one, Brock Anderson, will be in there. You got
man, I have to watch now.
I know. There's some other ones. Dijak is confirmed for the Riot, so that's pretty cool. For what it is, Hechicero, because they're in California, so they got some Lucha guys on there. Hechicero is announced for the Battle Riot. There's another Lucha guy who I wasn't terribly familiar with is in there. But yeah, they're starting to announce some people here and there for the Battle Riot. Yeah, a few decent, kind of big indie names.
And you'll have random surprises like we had.
Yeah, you'll have your surprises, but there was
a Duke Drosy or I'm sure we'll get a Quang.
Well, like we said last year, we did not have Minoru Suzuki squaring off against Ernest the Cat Miller in a corner, on our bingo card, or him and Suzuki and Violent J.
It sounds like if you didn't know and like you just started I'd be like, Pez, are you okay? Like you're just spouting nonsense. What are you talking about? Suzuki and Violent J were trading chops. Dude, see a doctor.
I had a fever dream in the middle of the Battle Riot, and I just imagined shit. We'll see who shows up. I think that's in it's like the first week of April 5th in California.
That's cool. They're throwing some wacky names. Yeah, I say we'll watch that again. Let's watch that.
Yeah, we can watch it. They usually upload it to YouTube a couple of days after, right? Like the whole thing. So, or at least the match itself.
They were just live streaming one of their shows recently. I don't know if it was
so they flip-flopped a few times from they tried Vice TV for a minute, they tried a Fight TV subscription. Now I believe everything is just on YouTube. So they're kind of like the old NWA method. So
because I started watching during it was during I think Dijak and Tom Lawler. It was a decent match, so I want to go back and if they're going to be on YouTube and easily accessible, I'll definitely.
They usually at least upload, maybe not the whole show, but the Battle Riot match itself is usually uploaded to YouTube in a couple of days. So,
I'm just saying, recently they've been uploading the entire show.
Okay, that's cool.
So, we'll see. We'll talk as long as we have it available. We'll check that out.
We'll watch
and if you're wondering where Commander Aziz has been, Dabba Kato, that guy, he was.
I was just thinking about him.
I watched because of that Ring the Hawk thing. He was watching like current NWA on, which is just streamed on X now. How the Mighty have fallen there, but he showed up on there. I'm like, oh, okay, he's in NWA doing some stuff. So I want NWA to succeed, but it's sad at the moment. But anyway.
Hey, it's going well when Brodus Clay is your champion.
Oh, he's not now. It's EC3.
You want to hear a horrible sentence? You want to hear a horrible sentence, Jacob? Right now, they're yearning for the days of Brodus Clay.
Really?
Right now, those days were a highlight almost. I'm just saying, like you said, it's Bram right now, which is not Bram's fault, but it's they fucked up that CW deal and they were just on the app. That lasted, it didn't go years. That 6 months that lasted. Once NXT came aboard, and now they're just on X of all things. I just don't even think about it to watch wrestling on X. It doesn't even cross my mind.
It doesn't, no.
Unless it's the speed shit, from WWE.
I don't think of that. Does any one of us? Hey guys, any one of you know who the current champs are? Huh? Exactly.
No, I saw that somebody was getting one of the women was getting a speed championship. I think it was Candice LeRae. I could be wrong.
Ooh.
I think she is the
First
champion.
current.
Or she might be the champion right now. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Who's the
Who's
champion?
Dragon Lee, is he still a male's champion?
Maybe.
No, then he dropped
Dragon
it.
Lee.
He dropped it. He has it.
WWE Speed Championship. Reigns, who's in Ricochet, Andrade. Yeah, no, it's still Dragon Lee, who's held it for
Okay.
90 days. So 85 recognized.
Oh, congratulations.
And
When you said Reigns, I think for a minute I think it's Roman Reigns, but man, he kept that quiet.
Wow. How?
Yeah, he just
how big
jumps
was
in there and
demotion?
spears the shit out of a guy immediately, and he's the
How
speed
big was
champion.
demotion
Oh,
for
right.
Roman Reigns?
and Candice LeRae has held the women's for 132 days.
Mm.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good.
She doesn't even come with that belt. She wrestles.
No, they don't mention it. I think I saw it once in a match graphic, like on Raw with Andrade.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, they've never brought it to the ring. Which you would think if it's for the same company, like don't have
Won't
to
you
defend
bring
it
it?
on
Yeah.
Raw. But it's like, hey guys, look, it's Andrade. If you
Promote
wonder
your
what the
show.
title is, check it out on Tuesdays. Yeah, it's like, how do you not promote your own shit? It makes to me again. That makes me feel like, oh, you don't care about it. I'm not gonna care about it.
I'm not
It seems
gonna
like
watch
you
it.
don't care about it.
Right.
You see that Triple H has created a WWE like ID championship.
Oh, I was literally about to bring that up. I was going to find the pictures of it. Yeah, because they're going to have
there's
WWE
pictures?
ID championships. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If I can find one that's on a WebMP, yeah, I'll find you one and show you what they look like. So,
They're just trying to catch up to the amount of championships that AEW features on their weekly shows.
Yeah, I will say that it feels like the Ring of Honor talent that are mostly, kind of resigned to Ring of Honor as now it kind of makes it less muddled as far as like AEW television goes. But
Okay. Why? What's the difference here? Women's probably.
Men and women probably.
Men's, yeah.
Yeah.
I assume the white one's probably the women's one. Yeah, and black one's the men's one, a little bit bigger. Yeah. So. That's
yeah, I don't know.
Can you put it back up?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Crown of the Champ. Like I said, I just want to see what it was called. Now,
it's just different headlines. Yeah, it's like
I was curious. That's kind of weird because what are you, the champion of? I'm not quite signed yet. Like, what are you the champion of?
I'm almost there.
Yeah, I'm the best of the hopefuls.
They're scouting.
All right.
Well, okay. So apparently, it was a response to something. WWE ID responded to the post, whatever the original post was. It said the first champions will be crowned in a tournament across top independent promotions, and then the titles will be defended on the indies.
No, that makes sense. I was about to say that's probably going to actually be on outside WWE program.
Interesting. Yeah, so it'll be defended at various
I got
shows
the
around the
ID champ
country.
on my show. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can you guys book the ID champion on your show?
Because here's the thing. I know WWE World Wrestling Network has already had a few like WWE ID matches where like both guys are IDs and they even have like the WWE logo and it's endorsed and everything. So it's not outside of the possibility. I actually think I probably could.
Yeah.
They haven't actually ID'd anyone for a while. I don't know if this is a way to also scout new talent as well. But hey, you'll get a guitar shot yet. They haven't actually added anybody for a little while. So I used to, one was like, hey, this person got ID. Do you know this person? But you haven't done that in a while. So
I mean, it might be a smart strategic thing to be like, we're not, it's not endless. We got, X amount here, X amount there.
Yeah.
At the end of I don't know how long they are. If they're year contracts, a year, 2 years, and at the end of that, they either A, get signed at NXT, or they go, we're not quite feeling it, and they sign someone else on an ID.
Well, and like we mentioned before, they might end up on that Evolve show.
Yeah, no, I think we'll see. We're definitely going to see something on the Evolve show, according to at least the preview graphics. I'll definitely watch that one because we all can watch that one if you want. That's sure Tubi. So
yeah,
I'll watch that for sure.
I don't think they'll have any streaming issues because the Super Bowl went pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth. I had some buffering issues here and there.
I guess Evolve will get more than the Super Bowl, so it should be okay.
I don't know actually because I think a lot of people that watched the Super Bowl probably watched it like on Fox itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so it who knows?
There's a lot of cord cutters, man, nowadays.
Yeah,
I was happy it was on there because the Fox thing is wonky. And actually, if you try to watch it on the Fox app, it redirected you to Tubi. It was kind of weird for the Super Bowl.
Like we'll first admit it, guys. Our app sucks. So just go to Tubi.
Well, it was weird because I tried to do it on my PS5, and then when you went to do it, it said this device is not supported for this like stream or whatever, this Super Bowl stream, and it was weird. Even if you had the Tubi on whatever device, it had to be on a specific devices. It was weird. So I then switched it over to my smart TV, and it worked, like the actual TV. It was very strange because some people had complaints that like it worked on certain devices and didn't work on other devices. It was very strange. So I don't know.
Did anyone watch Let's Fucking Go debuted yet? What's it called?
Yeah, we went over that earlier. Did you watch it?
See, this is what happens when you don't show up at the beginning of the show, Richie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Says Jacob, who's just completely no shows, full episode.
Yeah, well, because I don't want to show up halfway through and be like, "Oh, did you guys talk a bit?" No, I'm kidding.
It's not. I can't. I don't know where. It's not really airing here at the moment, so I don't even know where to watch it. So unless I do it illegally and not promote it.
I don't know if your shit works the same as us. At least the premiere episode is on the A&E app, so that's what we're checking out, maybe.
Okay, yeah, it might be like that. We've got A&E, like the A&E channel. Maybe it's on there. I don't know.
Maybe if you go to the A&E website, maybe you can watch it somehow on the website. I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, I obviously don't want to go over it. But is it just tough enough, basically, or any different to that?
Yeah, I was saying before, it's a blend of Tough Enough. If you ever watched like that show Breaking Ground a couple years ago, but the little twist here is it's also a little bit of like American Idol and the Voice, where there's judges now and they're picking certain people, and the winner will get like a nice little replica title, being like, "I was the best coach of season 1 of LFG." So that's Undertaker, Mickey James, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Booker T. So, like I said, it's cool enough concept. It's not exactly the crazy pullback we've never seen before that they always love to overhype, but it is a really fun, interesting show. And the difference in Tough Enough that I do like too is it ends usually with a match, like an actual match, like with them in gear, in character. Like it's not just Tough Enough where it's like, all right, Maven had the best headlock takeover this week. He advances, like it's actually like, hey, let's see who can actually succeed in a match, which makes sense.
So by the quick programming note, I pulled up another tab real quick, the A&E, the actual A&E channel website, and if you just search WWE and then it'll pull it up the thing, you can watch it with ads on the website. So you can watch it on the website at least. So if you want to watch it, it looks like it covers a couple ad breaks, but it's on there.
That's what I said.
No, you were saying it's on the app. You watched it on the app or whatever or something like that. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, but what are you saying?
The actual website.
Is there a difference? I know there's a difference.
Yes. Well, apps are different than websites. Yes.
Oh.
You download an app.
I guess. Okay. I never go to. I never think of websites as a thing.
Like on my phone, I have a Netflix app.
Yeah.
As opposed to I could go on my browser and type in Netflix.com.
I will never watch a TV show or a movie.
I wouldn't either, but I'm saying it works on there. I wanted to see if it would work, and it works. It's on there.
I just bet you there's not much of a difference. If it's on the website, it's probably on the app.
Sure. So I didn't know if Richie wanted to actually download an app or not.
Yeah.
Got a Roku? It takes 5
seconds. So it sounds like
are they wrestlers or everyone
are PC people. They're all PC people. Some of them have been there 2 weeks. Some of them have been there like 2 years. So they're all people you haven't seen on NXT yet. But actually no, there's one dude that actually has done like level up matches. I think one girl that's done some too. So, but for the most part, they're all people you just haven't seen yet.
So it's like Tough Enough makes.
I saw one clip that tried to tell. I don't know if it was from this episode, but it was just a clip that WWE showed it. But it looked like your typical reality contrived stuff where Michelle McCool randomly shows up, and then Undertaker looks caught off guard because he didn't expect her, and then they look like a little bit of drama. I'm like, this feels like
whoa, babe, drama. You're helping out Mickey? Yeah, no, I don't think that was this episode. That's another episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that Jeremy Borash will be popping up as a commentator. So that's interesting.
I like Jeremy Borash. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If there's no more news, nothing else to talk about. We talked, about an hour on.
We did pretty much everything. Yeah.
Nah, that's good length.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We all like trivia. Some of us like writing trivia. Some of us like answering trivia. I decided to write a little trivia. It's pretty simple trivia. I explained it in the chat, but for anyone watching, it's going to be pretty simple. I'm going to ask you who's missing from the chamber match. I'm going to give you 5 of the participants or 5 of the tag teams. And you just have to tell me who's missing. And I can put it in the private chat as well. I can do a little copy and paste so you guys can see it. I have at JPO's request, he said write 15. So I wrote 15.
Oh god.
I'm
sorry.
So it's all your fault.
Yeah, sorry.
But no. Much like normal trivia, I'll give you guys about 15 seconds. So your first one, I'm going to copy and paste it over to the private chat. Make sure I didn't copy the answer. Okay, I didn't. I think I did that once before and nobody told me. But it's the very first one, the very first chamber match, the World Heavyweight Championship at Survivor Series 2002. Featured Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Booker T, Kane, Chris Jericho, and who?
All right, so I'll at least get 1 point.
Yeah, at least get maybe 1 or 2 if you ask about the next one that happened after that.
I did not.
Oh shit! You didn't ask about the SummerSlam one? Damn, that's the other one I've seen a bunch of times. Shit! Oh, I got that one. Well, I'll get 1 point at least. Cool.
Gonna hit you guys with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the way I wrote you guys on the board, so I'll start with Pez.
RVD.
Richie.
RVD.
JPO.
I wasn't lazy. I wrote it all out.
I can only accept Rob Van Dam. No,
Yeah.
that's not actually.
Robbie V? Is that no?
Robbie V. That's right.
Rob Van Dam is correct. Your next one is going to be the WWE Championship match at New Year's Revolution 2006.
Oh boy.
Your 5 participants that I am giving you are obviously John Cena, Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Carlito, and who? Who was messing around the main event scene in 2006?
Hold on, I'm gonna adjust this. No, that's not right. That is separate. I don't know. Whatever. Second guessing myself. If I can't think of any, it's gonna be joke answers from here on out.
Hit you guys with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Richie, will start with you.
Makes frequent appearances on our streams. Chris Masters.
JPO.
Oh shit, Chris Masters?
And Pez.
Chris Snitsky.
Oh, so close. And, it was Chris Masters. Yeah, he was teaming with Carlito at the time.
Yeah, that was kind of my only
they were actually the final 3. It was Cena, Carlito, and Chris Masters.
That's funny.
All right, number 3, the WWE Championship number 1 contenders match at No Way Out. So the winner would go on to face the champion at WrestleMania that year. And your 5 participants that I have given you are Triple H, Chris Jericho, JBL, Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels, and
Give me the year again? Oh,
2008.
2008.
I can read. My bad.
Oh, you're good.
God.
Hmm. Hmm. I swear, I looked up all these considering what I would do a retro show for, but I don't remember which one was which. So I know I looked up a lot of these reviews and results to try to pick a show. And then I just ended up settling on an NXT show.
I remember the cover to this because the song for this pay-per-view was Rooftops by Lost Prophets, and yeah, that band
4,
around.
3,
You can Google why.
2, 1, hands down. JPO.
Vladimir Kozlov.
That's a
Not a bad guess. Richie
I said Rey Mysterio.
and Pez.
I said Orton.
Correct answer is Umaga.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Ooh, or Umanga, depending on who you ask.
You mean
You manga.
All right, we're going to jump a couple more years, go into 2010, the World Heavyweight Championship match. We just talked about that a little earlier. So I'm glad I didn't give away one of the answers, because it was Chris Jericho, Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, R-Truth, John Morrison, and
Is there any chance you're gonna ask about the other 2010 chamber?
what?
Any chance you'll ask about the other 2010 chamber? Isn't there two of them?
Oh yeah, no, I only one per. I think I did only one per year.
Because I might have had it on the background, but this is the main event, so I didn't get there yet.
Yeah,
I bet you I saw the match graphic.
no, that's not true. I did ask about both from 2015. Just because and
hang on, I'll just
grab my Roku remote. Yeah, let me grab my Roku remote real quick.
Mm-hmm.
well, I need to fix one. One of these dates is wrong. So you guys get a.
Oh no, he's literally no. I know this is wrong. He's on my screen. I wrote up someone in the mid card. I'm watching.
Yeah. He did double duty that night. You know, he won a chance.
Yeah, I guess I
chamber.
remember the beginning.
That would suck. You have one match and then you have to go in the Elimination Chamber. Fuck that. No, we want you to go in the Elimination Chamber and you have to.
Okay.
But also wrestle a tag match beforehand. No way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I was a year off on this one. A 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I forgot the answer. Okay, there we go. Pez.
Ted DiBiase.
He was in the first one.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I remember him tooling around one of them around this time.
Right. Richie.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kane.
JPO.
Edge?
Correct answer is CM Punk.
No, my boy.
Yeah, CM Punk.
I did see that match graphic.
Not bad. Not bad guesses though. Not bad guesses though.
Oh, cool. Punk's in the other one. I even said that.
I know Kane won the world title around this time, but yeah, it was probably. I think it was a Money in the Bank.
It was after Money in the Bank, yeah, and then he had that horrible program with the
Edge,
Undertaker.
but he's a dick.
Oh, that was after his Undertaker feud though. Yeah. Number 5, the World Heavyweight Championship at Elimination Chamber 2012 saw Daniel Bryan, the Great Khali, Wade Barrett, Big Show, Cody Rhodes, and who? This might be one of my favorite matches just because of who the final two were. You can go to a 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Richie, will start with you this time.
Santino Marella.
JPO.
Santino Marella.
Pez.
Big E.
Or Santino Marella.
He almost
Yeah.
won.
Was he in the final two?
He was in the final two.
Thank
It was
you
him,
for the hint to put it over the top for me.
it was him
Yeah,
and
he almost
Jim
won.
Bryan. Yeah. If this was actual trivia that meant something,
Was that the one where the crowd went nuts because like he hit the Cobra and like there was a big near fall, but like
Yeah,
he kicked out. Yeah.
I remember he was pretty over when he won the I think it was the last chance battle royal to get in the match.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I would have if he won the match going into. But then we wouldn't have gotten Sheamus and Daniel Bryan.
And that wasn't long after he almost won the Rumble.
It was the Rumble was 2011, and people were going crazy for that. Yeah. All right, number 6, the tag team match at Elimination Chamber 2015. So I will be looking for a team name, or you can give me both members of the team. If you can't remember the team name, I will accept both. But the New Day, primetime players, Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, who didn't have a team name, the Ascension, Los Matadores, and who? Which isn't a hint because I already said the New Day.
Yeah.
Unfair advantage because I'm pretty sure all 3 members of the New Day were involved in the match, so that's stupid. Also, why didn't just every other team up on the New Day? Because they had an unfair advantage with an extra member. They didn't get to have all 3 of them inside Hell in a Cell with their match against, which also isn't a hint because they're not the answer, which is a hint. So I'm just going to shut up now and say 5. So I'm not shutting up. I'm just not talking about anything. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. JP, I'll start with you.
I might be too early or late. Lucha House Party.
Richie.
I went Lucha Dragons.
Yeah.
Pez.
I'm too.
Those
late.
are exactly like the New Age Outlaws.
That would have been crazy. I would have loved that because I think they weren't active.
I thought that was like around this time they came back for a little while.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they come back for a little
They
while?
came
I
around.
think it was like
They came around the same
2013,
time.
2014-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is the Lucha Dragons.
Yeah, my bad. Damn. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, underrated.
Yeah. From the same year, I think this might be the only one I did of the same year. The vacant Intercontinental title saw Ryback, Mark Henry, R-Truth, Dolph Ziggler, King Barrett, and who? Which isn't a hint because they were in the last match. I'm going to shut up this time, though. Yeah.
2010's WWE is not my strong suit. Yeah, this is around the time I was not watching at all, so I don't remember like any of this shit.
Which I thought what might be mine because I picked it as a strength for CWT in my match against Travis Fame, which is available to watch on twitch.tv/Castifer. But did not
Oh,
go
you mean the
away.
same channel where I fight Richie tomorrow?
It might be. And how many points are you going to score? Are you going to score 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Excuse me. Pez, what do you got?
William Regal.
Richie, what do you got?
I don't know. Cody Rhodes.
JPO, what do you got?
Miz.
Looking for Sheamus.
Okay.
Number 8.
I know who didn't win that match because he still hasn't won the IC title. Sheamus didn't win that match.
Sheamus did not win that match. No, it was won by, I believe, Ryback.
And then moving on from the programming, got a Braun Breaker now. It's probably going to be AJ Styles.
So the Raw Women's Championship at Elimination Chamber 2018 saw Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and who? Which isn't a hint because they're not women. As far as I'm concerned, they haven't. They might be if
if they
more
did
power
close
to
out
you,
this
but
line,
maybe if you are, don't wrestle with the third often.
Mhm. You know, Eva Marie has a podcast now that Bam Margera was just on like 2 weeks ago. Weird.
Really?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I saw the picture of him with DDP, and he's
Yeah.
good.
hmm
Oh, I hope he's doing well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't remember who I picked last time. So JPO, I'll just start with you.
Mickey James.
She's in the list.
I can't read.
Do you want to throw out another name real quick?
Nia Jax.
Richie
Lucky you get it now. I said Charlotte.
and Pez.
Tamina.
Looking for Sasha Banks.
Ah. I will read better.
All right, we're gonna keep it with the women. Again, I will. If these women had a team name or not, you can put down either one. Because we're going for the women's tag team championships that were decided in the Elimination Chamber in 2019. We saw the Boston Hug Connection, Carmella and Naomi, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, the Riot Squad, Nia Jax and Tamina, and who?
This is one of those ones that could be anything because this is one of the time where people just team up with anybody. It's like, hey, you partner, mate. Want to be my partner? Cool. Let's go to the tag titles. Oh.
Mm.
Well, let me make sure my answer's on here right now.
Pez, don't feel bad because if I didn't write this, I would
no.
probably be
Jesus
doing
Christ.
as well.
I have no, dude. I didn't know the women wrestling around this time, much less women's tag teams. Fuck off, dude. I can tell you with a gun to my head. Especially 2019, the worst year in WWE ever. Like,
No, because this is the year. This was the year of Kofi Mania. It can't be worse
Raw.
than '95.
Which they accidentally stumbled into.
Raw was so bad in 2018. It was like the worst year ever for Raw. It's fucking horrible.
SmackDown wasn't too bad though. I think Raw was. Yeah, there was some. Yeah.
I just remember listening to all these Brian and Vinny shows where Brian Alvarez was just ready to quit wrestling altogether. Watching Raw every 3 hours of 2019 Raw every week. He was just done with his life. It's just he's struggling.
Richie, what do you got?
I hope it's not the one I crossed out, but I put Natalia.
Yeah, she fought for the tag team championships by herself.
Yeah, what?
Oh, what? Oh, wait. Hey, hang on. No, fuck it.
Reading is hard.
It's my turn to read, not read good. Anyway.
Who do you think Natalia would have teamed with?
I'm going to Natalia and Beth Phoenix. Wait, was that the one?
Pez.
Ivory and Jacqueline.
I wish. JPO.
Iconics?
The Iconics is correct.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get. I screwed up questions, and they were Australian.
Yeah, the fact that you were like, they're throwing so many random people together as a team, and I'm like, yeah, sure. No, it was an actual team. That's why I picked the actual team to leave out, and not like a team like Carmella and Naomi that people might not remember as well. All right, Pez, you might hate me one more time because it's another women's match.
Oh shit!
I think might be the last women's match. No, it's not. It's not the last women's match, but only one more after this. But it is the Raw Women's Championship #1 contenders match at Elimination Chamber 2020. Saw Asuka, Liv Morgan, Natalia, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and who?
Who the fuck is Sarah Logan?
Valhalla.
The other Riot Squad girl who's married to
Yeah, she accompanies
Eric.
She accompanies the Viking. What the Viking?
She had the antlers. My uncle loved her antlers.
Yeah, she was the one. Not
No
was it
idea.
last?
So I got that's our two claim to
Yeah.
fame. So we're
It was also, I think it was last year's Rumble 2024, I think, when
R-Truth
R-Truth was going to
Attractor.
enter the Women's Rumble, and he came out during her entrance
She was Mary
as
Dobson.
Valhalla.
And she was actually good.
She used to date Madman Pondo. That's a weird fact.
Oh, I've gone drinking with Madman Pondo. That's a fun fact.
3, 2, 1.
Madman Pondo punched me in the
And
face in that Briscoes match. That was fun.
Pez, what do you got?
Charlotte. I don't know.
JPO.
Glow, Naomi.
And Richie.
It was Shayna because she eliminated everybody.
It was Shayna. She eliminated everybody.
No.
That was the last.
And
pay-per-view
then-
before the world shut down.
Yeah. And then proceeded to lose at WrestleMania. Whatever. All right. I forget what year this is. I think this might be 2021. Because I forgot to write the year down. But it was the year that the winner had an immediate match for the WWE Championship. So if you remember who was champion, he's not the answer. But yeah, look for Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, and who? I believe this was 21.
When you say immediate match, like on the same pay-per-view,
Yeah, like it followed this match.
it's not much of a reward. You just gone through a fucking match. You're going through wear and tear while the other person.
Yeah, it seems like you're at a severe disadvantage at that point.
Well, the champion was on a little bit of a power trip.
Mhm.
Your tribal chief. Yeah, I think we're starting. I think we're getting into the realm where I think most of these are gettable.
No.
4, 3.
I don't
You say
remember
that.
recent shit.
I don't remember recent shit either. I can't remember what happened fucking
No.
a year ago.
I think they're gettable. If you can remember, like who's on the roster, I think you guys. It's guessable.
No.
It's guessable.
No.
It's guessable.
To you, maybe.
It should also be guessable to you, JPO. What's your answer?
No. Ziggler.
Richie.
Kevin Owens.
Pez.
I also just said Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it was cousin Kev.
Yeah,
Was
I'll
it?
go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I stumbled into an answer. Excellent.
See, JPO, they're guessable.
You just get your own cousin. Where you got your cousin?
Okay, maybe not gettable, but guessable. I think that if you,
Every question's guessable if you stumble into it. Like,
exactly.
like,
So
yeah.
I'm not.
I'm not gonna say Moose or Hulk Hogan, but
Yeah, Moose. Moose never said anything.
You're not going to say Moose yet.
You could always guess Apollo Crews every time.
I don't think I want. I don't think he's been in. Has he been in any?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, maybe it was the 1 year.
Who am I? I'm a good wrestler, zero charisma.
The WWE Championship match at Elimination Chamber 2022 saw Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Riddle, and who? Because this is just for fun, I don't mind giving hints. Match saw a pretty crazy bump that I kind of liked.
Oh, hang on. You yeah.
Oh, wait.
But you have a 5,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pez, what do you got?
Was that the one with Brock Lesnar, RK or F5 Kofi Kingston off the cell?
Same spot, but it was a different wrestler.
Oh,
Richie.
shit.
It was Austin Theory, wasn't it?
Oh, shit. Was it?
JPO.
Oh.
Baron Corbin.
It was Austin Theory.
I thought it was Kofi for some reason. I can do that shit too.
All right. And then the following year saw a United States Championship match inside the chamber, featuring Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and who? I'll give you all a hint this time. Think tag team guy. Man, I'm gonna miss Bronson Reed if he doesn't come back for WrestleMania. I don't think he will, but it's a shame what happened to him. I hope he can pick up some momentum when he returns too.
Well, yes, like a couple tsunamis on the upper mid card or a main eventer, and he's fine.
Yeah. A couple, or maybe 5, maybe 4, maybe 3, maybe 2, maybe 1. JP, what do you got?
Xavier Woods.
Richie.
Montez Ford.
Tez.
Ooh,
Xavier Woods.
Montez Ford.
yeah, he said it good pull.
That's random. Montez Ford. What?
I thought so too. I was like,
they were flirting with like breaking them up and making him a singles guy, which I think they should still do.
all right, last 2 are going to be from last year's.
I don't even remember last year's barely. It's like.
So we'll start with the women's. We saw Becky.
Richie should, because wasn't that in freaking Australia?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't go though.
Becky, Bianca, Raquel, Naomi, Liv.
Oh, I
Morgan.
think I know this one. I think I remember this one. Okay, I think I'll get another point here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Richie, if you got it wrong, you have to drop her from your fantasy roster. Richie, what do you got?
I have to drop Charlotte and then had Charlotte.
Austin.
Wasn't that the one where Tiffany Stratton was really over?
Oh, yeah.
JPO.
Piper Niven.
It was Tiffany Stratton.
Hey, I remember that.
Yeah,
Because I picked her for the predictions. I remember that because she was super over, and then she didn't win, but she was like the most over person in the damn match.
Yeah, she jumped off the pod. She did this one.
Yeah. I remember that. Mm-hmm. Only because I picked her. That's the only reason I remember. Because I picked her for the damn match, and she didn't win.
Finally, the number 1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship saw Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, LA Knight, and who?
It's a little trickier.
Five.
Extension.
This is real trivia. I originally had the last question as the final member of the women's chamber for this year, but then we talked about Raquel and Roxanne at the beginning of the show, so I was like, maybe we shouldn't go that route. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. JPO, what do you got?
AJ Styles.
Richie, what do you got?
I feel like an idiot. I said Solo Sikoa.
Said who?
Solo
Oh.
Sikoa.
So I know you. I either I broke up or I just didn't.
Yeah.
Pass.
I said Seth Rollins.
It was Bobby Lashley.
No, AJ interfered. He was the one I was thinking of that interfered in the match, I think. Right? Or,
Yeah, he took out LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, he like interfered in the match, but he wasn't part of the match. Like,
And then the year before it was Logan.
Because we all joked that he flew all the way to Australia to interfere in the Elimination Chamber match.
I remember that.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Elimination Chamber is supposed to not be able to interfere, and yet he just
Let's see. Yet he got in there and interfered. Yeah.
And Logan interfered the year before. No, the year before with Seth. So who's going to interfere this year?
Yeah, who interferes this year in the thing? Who's not?
That'll be our tiebreaker question when we do predictions.
Yeah. Who interferes in the uninterferable Elimination Chamber that's been interfered in twice?
Well, your final scores: Richie had 8, JPO 4, Pez 3.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Richie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't be that way tomorrow on CWT, where we're asked more than Chamber, unless Chris is like special Chamber episode tonight.
I listen to these questions, and you're like, actually, I just did these.
I'm toying around with the idea of doing this for the money as we get closer to WrestleMania, doing the Money in the Bank matches that happened at WrestleMania. Just giving you guys a heads up.
Yeah.
Can I throw out a caveat?
Yeah, good.
Do the opposite. Give us all the names and add a name and say who's not in it.
That could be interesting.
Who's the fake name? Yeah.
I've done that before on Movie Jeopardy, where like I'll name a cast listing and I'll like be like, now who's not in this movie?
No, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if somebody else wants to do that and I can participate either way. I like writing questions.
Yeah.
I could do that for next week.
Either way.
Next week or the week after. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, although I'm doing notes for my NXT shit, so yeah.
It'd be like talk. It's gonna be like who's not actually in a 6-man scramble? Mankind, British Bulldog, the Rock, Triple H, or Pete Gas.
Steve Corbin.
Mankind. I don't think Pete Gas definitely was in it.
No, I like that idea.
I was just gonna say the interference thing, right? Fucking Jacob Fatu could interfere and just wreck shop for a minute and leave. that could be plausible actually. Yeah. For not getting into the chamber and then like under orders of somebody, like fucking go in there and just wreck everybody for a minute. Like that could be fun, if you want to throw somebody in there.
I think it's too early, but it's like I think it was Zach had the idea of like Jacob Fatu versus Solo. Wouldn't hate it.
I could see them maybe at SummerSlam at the earliest. WrestleMania is too soon.
I'm telling Zach, you said he had a good idea because you shit on him a lot.
No, I know.
It's not a bad idea, especially after they looked like they maybe started planting the seeds a little bit on SmackDown.
I will give him credit when it's due.
And you certainly let him know when you don't agree with him.
Yeah, like the Birdcage is a fantastic movie.
Huh?
Birdcage, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not here to shit on people's opinions. We're here to talk wrestling and answer questions every 60 episodes. So, I don't know. It was supposed to be a light, casual episode. We still went our 2 hours. But it's all right. It's okay. We're friends.
I went just over an hour.
15 of that was me trying to stall for you, Richie, because we didn't want to start AEW without you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And just for that, you get to do your plugs last. JPO, where can the people find you online?
Yes, guys, when I'm not here, the Pearsco, movie shenanigans, trivia, countdowns, things like that. Find me over the Movie Hero Network sometimes as well. Find me over at Why We Love Horror. Come at Wrestling Trivia on Twitch. I'm sure other places as well. It's been a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Pez, where can the people find you online?
Yeah, mostly over on the Movie Hero Network, co-hosting and or hosting all kinds of stuff, including a show called Wheel of Movies, which I host with Richie, and we'll be doing an episode next week before Lonely Marks on the Movie Hero Network. And we're doing one of Richie's favorites, and it randomly popped up on the wheel. We're watching Nothing to Lose, the Tim Robbins Martin Lawrence movie, which got spun. So we're watching Nothing to Lose, which I haven't seen in probably 22 or 23 years. So, I know I rented back in like 2000 or something, but I have not seen it in ages. So I'm looking forward to the rewatch. So it's on Tubi for me. Speaking of Tubi, so I can watch it over there. It's on Disney Plus for Richie, which is
Yes.
weird, one of those weird things, overseas. But I do have means to watch it, so that should be interesting. Yeah, we got a recast of The Princess Bride over on the Movie Hero Network on Monday night, which I got to rewatch that movie so I can do my freaking recast because I'll probably be the last
so
one to
funny
see
that
it.
you mentioned that because you were messaging me and I was scrolling through Disney Plus trying to find something.
Yeah.
And I landed on Disney Plus and I started hitting play. And then you messaged me about doing the recast. And I was like,
oh nice.
That's interesting.
Nice. Yeah, I'll probably be the last one to submit because it's not like one of my favorite movies, but I need to rewatch it before I even start to recast. We'll see. Yeah, that'll be there. And and then next week on Lonely Marks, just throwing it out there. We'll be doing Elimination Chamber predictions, obviously, or officially. And then we're gonna do the retro show. We're gonna do a takeover. So we're gonna do probably one of the best ones ever. We'll do a good one instead of a bad one. Good show to watch. But NXT TakeOver New Orleans. So you can find that on the network. That's the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa. Speaking of unsanctioned, I believe that was an unsanctioned match in the main event there, but it has a ladder match for the first North American title. Got the finals of a tag team tournament. I believe it's supposed to be like a top to bottom pretty awesome show. So I remember watching it at the time, but I haven't seen it since then. So we'll go back and see. There's some people that are in AEW right now, or people that are free agents right now. Some people that are still with the roster, on the main roster. So it should be interesting to talk kind of where. Yeah, some people we'll talk about where everybody was in 2018, so that should be interesting. This is like peak black and gold NXT, so it should be fun.
Absolutely, yeah. Kind of sad.
Kind
of sad I have to miss the one retro show that I'm
absolutely would really like. Yeah,
because I don't know if it's my favorite takeover, but it's probably top 3.
It would every list I saw it was like top 3, so and it looked like fun, so. This should be fun to talk about. Yeah.
Richie, where can the people find you online when you show up on time?
Hey, when I show up on time, find me here, Lonely Marks. Next week, talking, Black and Gold brand NXT. There's also Mauro Ronaldo on the call, which I always miss. So I'd like to.
Oh, yeah. No, that should be fun, too. Yeah, I miss Mauro Ronaldo freaking out and having fun. Yeah, I miss that. That should be a lot of fun. Was it him and who? Was it Nigel or somebody else? Or
Percy? No, not Percy Watts. No, Percy.
I don't know. I'll have to Wikipedia. I'm sure Wikipedia will tell me, but let me look it up. Go ahead.
So, as JP mentioned, I'm taking him on MCWT tomorrow night. Gonna tussle. May the best man win, and it will be me, bruv. Rank him on Saturday or my Sunday, doing a top horror movies of the 2020s. So that should be fun. And then on Sunday, last time, I'll be part of the Seen and Heard sort of rom-com match. So that should be fun. So check all that out.
Oh, by the way, it was Mauro Ronaldo, Percy Watson, and Nigel McGuinness. So that should be good commentary too. Because Nigel's great. So it's fun. So looking forward to the commentary as well. Mauro and Nigel, fuck yeah, let's go.
I like the pre-show panel too. It was Charlie Caruso, Sam Roberts, and Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee was one of his first shows. He was on the pre-show panel. Yeah, so that's interesting. Mm-hmm.
Great card. very tight 5 matches. Yeah, you can find me here usually. Not next week. Next week I'll be doing some comedy, celebrating my 1 year. It'll be 1 year exactly of me doing comedy. I'll be closing down an open mic locally, so that's where I will be. I'm gonna try to record it and then send some clips out. So
you'll be closing it down. Hopefully you don't bomb that badly.
I'll be closing it out, closing it down. I will be going on last. Doing a solid, tight 15 to 20. We'll see. Depends on how I feel and how many people stay, because it's at a bar on a Thursday night. But yeah, I was recently in a movie songs draft over on the Dill Pickle Movie Network. So go check that out. It is a nearly 4-hour stream, so if you want to cut it up into we talked for a good while about some of these choices. So no, it was fun. We had some good choices. I really liked my picks, so go check that out. He's got some good stuff on his channel. I pop up on other channels from time to time. JPO's channel doing shenanigans. Not on the Movie Hero Network as much recently. I would have been on Recast if my boss didn't schedule a staff meeting. But it is what it is. Yeah, Combat Wrestling Trivia. The Clash of the Combatants Sports. Go see if I won my first match against Tato. My next match should be very soon. And then, yeah. I won't be back next week, but these 3 gentlemen will. So join them next week as they do some predictions and talk about an awesome show. If you want to rewatch the show as well, kind of give your thoughts in the live
Dave
chat.
Meltzer gave the opener and the closer of that show 5 stars, so that's a good show in and of itself. 2 5-star matches on that damn take.
Lars Sullivan has a 5-star match.
He sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow all their other shenanigans. Follow the Movie Hero Network. Follow the Pierce Pierce Wrestling. So yeah, for JPO, who is still here, he's still here. Don't let that fool you. For JPO, for Richie, for Pez, I am Jacob. We are the Lonely Marks, and we will see you next time.